Welcome back to the Predictable Revenue Podcast. I'm your host, Collin Stewart, and today I'm joined by Olga Voigt. She's the co-founder of Zibble AI, and we're going to talk product market fit. Before we jump in, this episode's brought to you by Predictable Revenue's founder coaching program. Founders, let's be real. Scaling a company is tough. You're juggling product, revenue, hiring, hopefully not hiring salespeople because that's a mess and it's a lot. But what if you had somebody who's been a dirty salesperson, entrepreneur, there for you to help kind of work through all the go-to-market stuff that you may not come from? That's what our founder coaching program does. Candidly, it's just me. So if you want a hand with some go-to-market, come give me a call. Welcome to the Predictable Revenue Podcast, where sales leaders teach you what's working for them so you can build it yourself. Olga, welcome to the show.
Collin, how's it going?
That's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a shame we're going to miss each other because right after this, I'm going to almost drive right past you, which is unusual for this podcast.
That's true. You will enjoy the area. Kelowna is beautiful.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully the snow is still good, hasn't melted by the time we get up there.
I cannot guarantee that, but...
Sounds like it's going to melt this weekend. Maybe we'll get one good day in, but it's the last weekend of the season, so I can't complain.
Exactly. Just enjoy yourself.
I will. We want to talk about Zibble today. Talk to me about where the idea came from, and then I'm curious about the name. Because naming things is hard.
Naming things are very hard. Okay, so the company actually started almost 20 years ago when me and Corinne came up with this idea that the research insights and the way the research insights are delivered to Fortune 500 companies is really outdated. We both have background in big research agencies. And when 20 years ago we got together, we started working with big companies, really crunched on time. Then we called it fresh intelligence because we wanted the intelligence and insight to be fresh, right? Time passes by, our career paths changed. I started doing my thing, founded a few businesses. She started doing her thing, founded a few businesses. 2 years ago, everything changed with AI. She came up with the idea to start the AI market research company. When she came up with this idea, we started talking right away, and we knew that demand is there. We almost knew that the clients who are buying our services will buy the product. This is your typical service to product conversion. Works great on paper, right? Not in reality. We'll talk about it later. But when we started converting our service clients to our product clients, we realized that fresh intelligence is just not a product name. It's just mouthful, it's long. And we also realized that we want our clients to use the product as action, like act on it, do it, Zibble it. Stop spending time and money on long, expensive research. Just Zibble it and get your insight. That's how Zibble came along. There was lots of names. Of course, we used ChatGPT to generate 20 different names, but Zibble kind of sticks to us.
Nice. It's got a fun kind of like, it almost could be a pet name, but it isn't quite a pet name. You know, it's friendly and fun.
Yeah. And it's really hard because our clients, most of our clients, enterprise, and you don't want to sound too startup-y, you know? You kind of don't want to sound cheap because we still holding our monthly fee in like 3-4 digits, but not $20, kind of like in hundreds of dollars. But you don't want to, you want to be approachable, but you don't want to cheap. So name is important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is an interesting one because, yeah, I mean, similar, I shared kind of in the pre-interview here that I had done something similar with my transition of Carb of like, we started off as kind of bootstrapping it and kind of as an agency, and then the product grew out of that. And it's really hard to serve two masters, so to speak, of like, you have to take care of the clients, but you also have to take care of building the product. And so talk to me about, what did you do? So you're running the service and then you have this idea of like, hey, let's build the thing that turns into Zibble. What did you do that gave you confidence that, hey, we're going to go and invest all of this time and all of our money in building software? Because you could have just taken that money out and gone and bought a bigger house, a pool, nicer car, blah, 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 blah. I've had this conversation with myself a few times of like all the things that you could have done, but instead you try and invest it in the future. So talk to me about the decision and how, like, what gave you confidence?
Okay, so I think what gives you confidence is kind of passion. You need to be passionate and interested about what you're trying to launch. I think both of us could retire and be terribly bored with our life. We're both like divorced women with kids, and life can be pretty repetitive when you're a mom just having and running after your clients and services,
Mhm.
selling services. So what gave us the passion and fuel to create the product was just curiosity and passion for AI. When you're genuinely interested in something and you realize that you spend hours researching it and playing it and learning something that is actually delivering value to you in your
Mhm.
work, and we are using Zibble for our own work, I'll give you an example, then you get this itch. You have to spread the news. You have to, you become like obsessed and
Mhm.
addicted to using a certain tool. And then you're like, okay, we have to show it to all my friends and all my clients. And when you feel this fire, when you kind of cannot not show it, cannot
Mhm.
not sell it, then it's the right product. Then it's something you have to do. Because if you don't have to, you're just gonna, yeah, it's gonna be sad, sad, sad life.
Totally. So where did the idea come from?
The idea came from playing with Claude, and then we just realized that most of the research budgets that are spent on repetitively testing ideas and concepts and targets and what we should do with the product and how we should position the product, Claude can answer very quickly and very efficiently.
Mm.
However, there is a mistake that most of the beginner kind of marketing researchers who use AI do, is that they use Claude as a generic expert
Mhm.
instead of specific expert for their market, representing either their customer or their competitor or the marketing or business strategist expert. So essentially, we realize that if you start talking to Claude not just like a generic expert, but creating a group of experts, so 5, 6 experts at the same time,
Mhm.
and each one represent a certain segment or a certain niche, you will really pressure test your ideas to the point that they cannot fail. You really get a crystal clear positioning
Mhm.
because you get the feedback from 5 different angles at the same time.
Mhm.
And then we started showing it to our clients, and everyone was just like, let's try. And then it was, oh my God. So when you get this, oh my God reaction, because they finally realize that they don't need to spend $5,000, $50,000, $150,000 on focus groups, surveys, search, and you can just use a beautifully designed AI tool
Mhm.
to get your insights about your product market fit. This is when the product just was born by itself. And then you just keep spreading the news.
I love it. And so when did you start building this and what did that look like?
It look like just vibe coding and playing with Claude and trying to create a good UX. And then you show it to clients, and then clients, potential clients, and then they ask questions, they get confused, they start using the product in real life, you realize what features are missing. Then you start hiring professional developers because you realize that vibe coding not going to fly anymore. With
It only gets
professional
you so far.
developers, exactly. With professional developers, you start developing the good prototypes, proper features, start showing it to clients. Clients start pushing you on, how about this? I also need that. Again, back and forward. So essentially, between clients, AI, and your internal intuition, there's a constant kind of cycling. And it doesn't end. Even now, we launched the main product we launched in October. We just launched last month our major upgrade and update our main feature. We're not stopping. It's not really a product market fit that owners and founders need to worry about. They need to worry about value market fit. you know, do you do you really understand what value are you delivering? In what kind of products, with what kind of features, doesn't matter. Do you know what value you are delivering? You will figure out how, and it
Mhm.
will change every month. Because as AI is growing, features of the technology is changing, the market is changing, your clients' needs are changing, you will be constantly changing your product. If you're constantly fixated on product market fit, you will get stuck. If you're focused on value market fit, are you delivering the value? Are you seeing the value? Who are you delivering the value to? Product will shape itself. It's just like ever changing, morphing thing. That's how you need to look at the product.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from on the value side of things. I think I might differ on the definition of product market fit and the kind of value there, but I think we'd be splitting hairs because I think directionally we're saying the same thing, which is like the
Directionally, yeah. But what I'm seeing a lot with other co-founders is that people are really trying to create a perfect product that they
mm,
can sell.
well, that's product, right? To me, the definition of product market fit is, well, to me, it's not binary. It exists on a spectrum from weak to strong.
Hmm.
And the stronger it is, the more the measure of the strength, the ultimate measure is like the pull. If I
Mhm.
show it to you and you're like, Collin, I need to have that, give it to me now.
Yeah.
That's a very strong pull. If I show it to you and you're like, sounds interesting, but by the way, can we talk about this other thing? That's a very weak pull. And so the
Yeah.
strength of product market fit is the multiplier of your go to market efforts. And so I think that's
Yeah.
why it's important to focus on. But I agree with you on the value. Like there has to be
Yeah.
value created. It's not just about having a beautiful product. It's about first finding the gap in the market and then building something that satisfies that gap, even
Yeah.
if it's ugly.
But it's exactly that point when you said, let me show you the product. And this is where often the first mistake happens. Instead of let me show you the value you can get out of this product. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's all of a sudden, it's not about my product, it's about your business and how my product can change your business to deliver your value. So for example, when I demo the product, I never show them, oh, we have this feature and you click here. And if you click here, that will answer you and give you this insight. I
Mm-hmm.
started like, okay, let's think about what is bothering you in Q2. What is your priority in Q2? What decisions do you need to make in Q2? Let's try to make this decision now. So let's put it in the system, run it through our signal group, get the feedback, and you see how quickly we can improve your decision now. Like you see
Mm-hmm.
how quickly that delivers you the value that you need. And that's what they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
They want to buy this value.
Yeah, it's that time to the aha moment that you can show
Mhm.
them. You're like, this is so much better than just talking
Yeah.
to Claude.
And for me to show the product is so easy. Like I can record YouTube videos, I can record a whole bunch of generic videos. The product is beautiful. It's very fast. It's intuitive. The UX is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But showing the product was not selling the product. After
Totally
I
agree.
talked to like 30, 40, 50 people trying to understand for this kind of company, for this kind of a decision maker, what value this product can bring, then I started selling because I started selling value. And I have a persona, I have a target for each of my, like for each CMO, I will show value differently than
Mm-hmm.
from the marketing research department had in a huge corporate environment. You know, like the value will
Totally.
be different and the way I show the product, the way I
Mm-hmm.
sell the product will be different. So
Sounds like
and
you're just a good
selling,
salesperson.
yeah. Well, but it's what founder is all about, and this is what our product does actually, right? It creates these personas that you can talk to
Mm-hmm.
and kind of rehearse how you deliver value.
I love that. Talk to me about how you found your first couple of customers.
Well, again, it's a typical services to product conversion. So we have 600 clients who used our services before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a labor of love when you approach them and you tell them the big news that now you have a product. And we started in October. We have 6 recurrent clients now convert recurring license buyers.
Amazing. That's got to feel good to get those first few under your belt.
Exactly. It does feel good. And again, it just it gives you the confidence. But again, in the beginning, I want to make sure that all the founders who are listening to this podcast and listening to the stories and who started the business a year ago and maybe got 1 client or 2 clients, don't feel like we have to get these clients as soon as possible. Like, it's really, I cannot emphasize enough how much time it took us also before we started getting the first client to validate the platform, to test it, to improve it, to talk again and again with our current services clients to
Mm-hmm.
really understand like what is the problem, what value we can deliver with this product.
Yeah. Can you walk me through the steps you followed? Because it does sound like you spent quite a bit of time.
Well, when the idea spark with the light bulb is on and you know that, okay, I have this idea, no one else has it,
Mm-hmm.
you develop the prototype. And then with this prototype, we were showing to the clients. And obviously the first reaction always was like, this is amazing. I'm going to pay for it. Give it to me. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you develop it and you show it to them with the price tag, the next reaction is like, I need to go through uh, my
Procurement.
my security department, my audit, my AI audit. No one jumps on AI right away an AI product. Everyone is so scared of AI products, especially in bigger companies, right? And so our next round was creating the security protocols, testing it again and again, validating against the actual, like, because AI is doing a certain thing, which is supposed to replace the old workflow. So you need to validate and to show to your clients that the AI workflow delivers the same results as your old workflow. You don't want
Mhm.
hallucinations, you don't want mistakes. And we're talking here about decisions and insights and market research, right? It's very important. People are betting millions of dollars on decisions like this.
Mhm.
So our next round was validation. We spent maybe 3-4 months in doing that. We did need to go back to drawing board when technology was just not there and not supporting. We tried different models. Again, with AI, it's all about workflows of prompts and how do you work with the system and how you feed the system the correct prompts to get the correct results, how
Mhm.
you train the system. And yeah, that's labor of love. So the second stage was just validation. And then when we felt like the validation was strong, we started working on, yeah, just collecting the feedback again on the actual working product. And that's
Mhm.
what we're doing for the last 6 months and still changing the product every week. We have a roadmap meeting, and I feel like every meeting, every Tuesday, we change the direction or we kind of add a new feature because things are changing so fast and you need to listen to your clients and stay true to your product and to your promise, but at the
Mhm.
same time be extremely creative and extremely flexible, and it does pay off. And that's how we get this first 6 clients, because we were able to deliver to them exactly what they were looking for.
Mhm. I love that. So it's been the last, I mean, since October, and you've gone through, I mean, specifically on the validation step, it sounds like you built some MVP, showed it to some folks.
Mhm.
What did that look like? And like, was it 2 or 3 people? Was it 10, 100, 1,000?
That was, I would say, 30, 40 people that we show it to and continuously showing. We're kind of working, okay, the same group of supporters, clients who are the most loyal and the most interested and the most passionate, and you kind of come back to them again and again for feedback. We also like doing workshops where kind of like we have a hands-on experience with agencies and other coaches, and we use it as a we learning them, they're teaching us type of loop, where at the same time in the same room we have maybe like 20, 30 people from the agency, and we all brainstorm together on how this product can help them with a
Mm,
certain use case, certain business case.
love that.
So that's usually like a great, good kind of chunk of insight right away to develop your product.
You mentioned the agency and the kind of size of the team there. How do you, as somebody who's running an agency and working on a product, how do you divvy up your time? How do you divvy up like company time and resources?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I'm trying, honestly, my setup is that I don't work more than 4 hours a day. So I work 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day.
Mhm.
And I'm just being like, again, like very, very efficient, very lean. You know how they say, like the amount of time you give yourself, you're going to fill it up. If you
Mhm.
give yourself 8 hours, you're going to fill up 8 hours. If you give yourself 16 hours, you're going to fill up 16 hours. If you give yourself 4, you're going to be working focused during this 4 hours and doing what needs to be done.
Mhm.
It's hard for sure. I just
Totally.
don't have more than 4 hours. That's it.
Yeah, I hear that. I remember this like two teams coming at me in the early days, and we had, the agency was scaling, and it was, a couple $1 million a year, and the product
Mhm.
was maybe it was post $1 million. Yeah, the product's doing $1 million a year, and people constantly trying to pull me in different directions of like, I need your focus over here, I need your focus over here, and it seemed like whichever direction I pointed my attention, the product or the service would flourish, and then the other one would wither. And it was
Mhm.
sort of like, where do I want to point the sunlight? But I could only point it in one particular direction.
Yeah, we really did change our focus from services to product.
Mm.
The services are going down. I don't think it's possible to focus on both at the same time. You have to choose one. I think the services part of business, if any of the listeners are considering going from services to product, you use your services clients to sell product to them, but you cannot really maintain the same amount of business services business unless you hire someone maybe very talented. But if it's just the same founders, the same executive team, and
Mm.
then they're focusing on product, it's a sacrifice. You kind of feed services to this new monster. It's like pet food. It becomes a pet food to your new business.
It totally does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you want to keep them both going, but like one is the now and one is the future. And it all comes down to timing of like, if you
Yeah.
totally bail on the now and you focus on the future comes faster. But if you die before you get to the future, then you still die.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that product, because the nature of the product is so future oriented, these businesses are way more kind of labor intensive. They require a lot more passion and energy in general. Like services, you got the project done, you have a good relationship with the client. It's more of a background business, less labor intensive business than product. Product, they literally beings with their own essence, and they feed off your energy, and they feed off your how much commitment you can give it, like mental commitment, energetic commitment, so much more than services, I feel like. And that's why everyone wants to create a product and launch a product, because they're easier at the end of the day, they're easier to sell for more money, of course, than services. That's why everyone wants the product. But it's like a third entity. It's like you, your co-founder, or you and your team, and then there's a product who like has his own path, his own mindset and his own thinking, and you need to like support it in a way energetically.
Um, when you, so first customers have come from existing clients.
Yeah.
Where, like, are the next customers coming from? And is it still just focused on internal clients only, or are you starting to go branch outside?
We're branching out. We have a LinkedIn strategy. We have an outbound strategy. We're launching webinars. We're launching white papers, like lead generation, just the general funnel that's kind of shaping up already right now. Right now, we're really focused on just education and explaining why the product like Zibble AI can make your life so much easier and your decisions so much faster and your ROI and your decisions so much better. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more about decreasing this fear of using AI and like trusting the product, trusting the workflow,
Mm-hmm.
and helping people to build kind of human enabled AI workflow using Zibble AI, but not replacing human, kind of like AI enabled, human enabled mix. So it's all about education, and we can see like the traction that people are like reaching out and following and being interested. Yeah. And then after that, you just convert them into conversations. We don't really, again, as I said, like we don't really like to do product demos. We don't call them product demos. And I
Mm-hmm.
think lots of people trying to avoid it these days. There are too many demos and too many products. People are using it more like, okay, let just talk, and let's just understand what's up and how we can help, which is easier with your previous clients from services. It's a little bit difficult with brand new because they don't have
Yeah.
the trust in you. So that's why you need to like build this trust, build this presence on social media first, in the industry first.
Percent. Yeah. There are things that I would do live on a client call. Hey, look at this thing. It's broken. Does that look interesting?
Yeah.
Whereas I would never do that on a sales call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But strong agree. A great sales call is not a demo. It is not showing the
Mhm.
product. It is not a full walkthrough. It is a conversation about, do you have a gap in your life that we could solve? And if you do, cool, let me show you what color it is. But the demo is just a matter of like, it's a proof
Yeah.
point. It's
Yeah.
not I don't know. It is not the thing that gets you the business, you
Yeah.
know?
But again, like I'm not sure, maybe our model would not work because we are a decision rehearsal platform, we call it, right?
Mhm.
So we actually take the decision that founder or CMO needs to make, and we put it on the platform, and we pressure test it with this simulated persona experts, and then we give the output. And it is like a work session. Like they go away with something valuable, even if they don't sign,
Mhm.
something useful happened. Something useful, something valuable happened in that 15 or 30 minutes. And that's what I would encourage all founders to do. Like, how can you deliver value in 15 minutes? How can you help this prospect with something useful in 15 minutes? Give them an insight. It's like try to put a coach hat on and tell them like, I bet in 15 minutes I can help you with something using my product, by the way. But first comes like they can't say no, and they just want to keep talking.
I want to talk about the moment you realized you might have product market fit. Was there a
Mhm.
specific time, a specific place, a specific customer?
I think when we signed our first Fortune 500 company, the chocolate maker, like the kind of the big guy, when you went through their security protocols and their audit and you got approved, and then you start working with them. And I had the session this morning, I had the session on Monday with them. And after every session, you see that people are like, that after this call, they will
Mhm.
continue using this product. They logged in for you, for your working session with you, and they're going to stuck there for another hour. And that feeling is that I feel fired up, they feel fired up, we're doing the right thing. It's a combination of signing the right client and then having the right feeling when you work
Mhm.
with them. Then it feels good. Then there's a fit.
I love that. What comes next?
What comes next? We continue turning our platform, our tool into major knowledge base for our clients so that they feel very smart, very intelligent when they use this AI tool for decision making, kind of turning this into not just a product, but how do you call it, like a decision making layer where they feel supported and smart, educated, constantly learning something, constantly experimenting, feeling more free, more bold, more creative the moment they log into the platform. So it's not just giving them answers, but it's really the hub for inspiration and decisions in the company.
I love that. If people want to learn more about Zibble, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Go to Zibble.ai website.
And that's
I
Zibble dot AI.
Zibble, yeah. You can also find Zibble.ai on LinkedIn as an account. I reply to all the direct messages still. That will be me. And we have videos on YouTube, on Instagram, if you can find us there. But I think LinkedIn is my preferred. I still network so much on LinkedIn with everyone. Yeah.
I love it. Olga, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for
Thank you,
sharing the
Colin.
journey.
Of course. Thanks, Colin. It was a pleasure.
You got it. And thanks to everybody for listening. We'll catch you all next time.